Hi, I'm Eric Linasz, coming to you from Los Angeles, where I'm here with Jonathan Zarkauer of Acme Packet and on day 2 of IT Expo. This, in fact, is our 20th IT Expo event. Welcome, Jonathan.
Hi, Eric. How are you doing?
I'm great, thank you. I know you had a speaking session earlier this morning. How did that go?
It was great. Pretty well attended. I think that there were some messages there that perhaps the attendees hadn't heard maybe from some of the other presenters, and there was a pretty lively Q&A at the end, so all in all, very, very happy with it.
Fantastic. Good to hear. Good to hear. One of the things I wanted to ask you about is I guess back in April, if I'm correct, Acme Packet acquired Covergence.
Right.
And I think one of the things that everybody would like to hear is, how's that integration going?
It's actually going really, really well. There were a lot of advantages that we had right from the start. One being that they were already based in Massachusetts, so we were able to very quickly integrate their people in with our people in Burlington. And the other thing that we found out was that they had a very, very strong product that really was an excellent complement to our existing product line, particularly in SIP trunking environments. And so with the rise of SIP trunking, what we found is with the acquisition of Covergence and the product placement of their set, what we now call the NetNet 2600 platform, it basically it has a tremendously significant and positive impact on our addressable market in the enterprise and contact center space. So.
But this isn't your initial foray into the enterprise space, is it?
No, we had already been investing in the enterprise. In fact, depending on the size of the enterprise, our entire platform series, everything from the NetNet 2600 all the way up to our very high-end NetNet 9200, would in fact be applicable to enterprise and contact center installations. We've also got products that are currently undergoing government certification for security-focused and defense-oriented government agencies as well. But in particular with the Covergence acquisition, we've, like I said, expanded the product line to where we now have a really complete solution from very small to very, very large.
Excellent. So obviously we're here at IT Expo. What are some of the things that you and Acme Packet are hoping to see or find here at the show?
Well, that's a great question. One of the things that we've noticed since we've become active in marketing our products into the enterprise is that the market, we feel, is in need of a lot of education still. The lessons that were learned by all of our service provider customers, fortunately, also apply a great deal. There's a great deal of overlap in those challenges and those requirements between service providers as well as enterprises, contact centers, and what have you. So our goal in being here, quite frankly, is to educate the marketplace on what session border controllers do. Security, obviously, is a key theme. SIP trunking applicability, obviously, is a key theme, clearly here at IT Expo. There are requirements also in the areas of service reach maximization, SLA assurance. That's everything from survivability to availability to high user quality of experience. Enterprises are facing significant challenges in interconnecting VoIP islands over SIP trunks. Those inherently carry interoperability issues, the need to interwork signaling protocols, the need to do some level of transcoding. So interoperability issues. Regulatory compliance is another area where session border controllers play a key role. The ability to do session replication, for instance, for recording for regulatory reasons, or even for customer service quality reasons in a contact center environment. Those are all things that SBCs do at the various network border points. Whether it be the SIP trunking border, the internet border, the private network border, or even a hosted service provider border point.
So now that you're even more heavily invested in the enterprise market, what kind of reaction are you getting from the enterprise space? When you try to explain to them that they might need a session border controller, and explain to them some of the things that you just talked about now as far as the capabilities.
Typically, they're very excited. One of the things that we're still in the process of doing is basically developing a very, very strong channel organization and channel materials to broaden the message. But I mean, customers are very, very excited once they understand, some of the inherent, issues around building VoIP and UC infrastructure. What they hear from VoIP and UC solution providers, the Avayas of the world, the Microsofts of the world, et cetera, are that, that they're going to achieve significant cost savings and significant productivity enhancements within their workforces, et cetera. But the devil's in the details, right? So basically, fixing some of the problems that are inherent in, fixing the SIP protocol, for instance, which is a standard, but it's not implemented the same way by every vendor, for instance. Once customers realize that they can actually build these solutions and that they have a tool, i.e. an SBC, that can sit at network border points and help with interoperability issues, help with security issues, et cetera, then they do become very excited. And that's not only large enterprises, but also small enterprises that are considering their own deployments or considering hosted solutions that are being offered by the various hosted PBX providers, hosted UC, et cetera. So,
what's your response to someone who asks you, well, do I really need a session border controller?
If you're deploying IP interactive communications, okay, whether it's telephony, whether it's media, high definition or low definition, messaging, SOA-enabled presence, I mean, any sorts of interactive communication, the requirements are basically there. I mean, and anybody who's doing that over an IP infrastructure at some point in time is going to need a device to mediate at a border point. It's just inevitable. And service providers have known this for a long time. Enterprises are now just discovering it. So our answer to that is yes, everybody needs an SBC.
Excellent.
So.
We've been chatting here at IT Expo with Acme Packet's Jonathan Zarkauer. Jonathan, thank you very much for joining us, and have a great show.
It's a pleasure. Thanks, Eric. All right, take care.